First, we're going to start with the three layers, the epidermis, the dermis, and the hypodermis. The epidermis is the most superficial layer. It is made of stratified squamous epithelioum and it is capable of becoming hard and tough through keratinization. The dermis is the middle layer, made up of mostly dense connective tissue. The hypodermis is the deepest layer of the integumentary system, in which it anchors the skin to the inner organs rather than actually being a part of the skin. It is composed of adipose tissue, specifically subcutaneous tissue. The first layer of the 5 layers of the epidermis is the stratum corneum, which is the outermost, most superficial layer, which is composed of 20 to 30 layers of cells and accounts for 3/4 of the epidermal thickness. These cells are shingle-like and dead. In addition, it is completely filled with keratin. This allows for the overcoat protection of the body. The second layer is the stratum spinosum, along with the third layer, the stratum granulosum, which are flatter than the stratum basale, which is the last layer. They become increasingly full of keratin. The stratum lucidum is the layer where the cells of the stratum spinosum and granulosum dies and become part of this layer. It is not present in all skin types, only when the skin is hairless and extra thick, like the palms of hands and soles of feet. The stratum basale, which is the closest layer of the epidermis to the dermis and the deepest layer of the epidermis, which receives the most adequate nourishment through the diffusion from the dermis. This layer is going through constant mitosis, and the daughter cells are pushed up away from the nutrients. Now we're going to get into the 2 layers of the dermis, the papillary layer and the reticular layer. The papillary layer is the epidermal region. The papillary layer has dermal papillae, which is peg-like projections that contain capillary loops that supply nutrients to the epidermis. The dermal papillae on the hands and feet are arranged in patterns that form looped ridges to enhance the gripping ability of fingers. The papillary patterns are determined on ridges on fingers are well provided with sweat pores to leave the unique film of sweat called fingerprints. Reticular layers is the deepest layer of the skin that contains blood vessels and sweat/oil glands. It contains Pacinian corpuscles, which are deep pressure receptors, as well phagocytes, which are numerous in these cells to prevent bacteria from penetrating deeper tissue. This layer causes wrinkles as we age and is rich in blood supply. Sebaceous glands are oil glands. They are found all over the skin except palms and soles. The ducts are usually empty into a hair follicle, but can open directly to the skin surface. This sebum is the product of a sebaceous gland, a mixture of oily substances and fragmented cells. It contains chemical to kill bacteria and keeps the skin moist. Sweat glands, also known as pseudophorous glands, which are widely distributed in the skin with more than 2.5 million per person. 2 types of sweat glands are acrine and apocrine. There is more acrine sweat glands in the body. The main function is to produce sweat, but also they produce water, salts, vitamin C, and red traces of metabolic waste. Sweat is acidic, so it can kill the bacteria in the body, in which comes out the funnel-shaped pores in the skin. It is important for heat regulation, and when they secrete sweat, it brings down the body temperature. Apocrine glands are confined to axillary and genital areas. As well, they are larger than acrine glands. The ducts empty into the hair follicles, and the secretion contains fatty acids and proteins, as well as it's odorless until it combines with the bacteria on the body. Apocrine glands begin functioning during puberty. This function is unknown, but they are activated by stress, pain, and sexual foreplay. Hair follicles are inner epidermal sheath composed of epithelial tissue that forms the hair. The outer dermal sheath consisting of dermal connective tissue that supplies blood vessels. The arrector pili is a small muscle that can pull hair upright to cause goosebumps in the body.